Today we're going to be reviewing entry 628. And this week, plus the next 2 weeks, I wanted us to talk about prayer. Most specifically, not being able to pray. Have you ever been in a situation like that, in a season if you're in your life where your prayer life is just and dry? And maybe you stop praying as much, you pray less, maybe you stop praying completely. Well, I'm gonna tell you, I'm in a season like that right now, and going back to the diary, going back to the things I know are good, are of great help. So I hope that this entry and the entries that we're going to review the next 2 Saturdays also give you hope and help. So entry 628 is about Faustina telling us a story about an elderly sister that approached her and revealed to her the state of her soul. This sister told her that she is constantly unhappy, that she can't find joy, and that she suffers very much. And she actually says, nothing brings me relief, and it constantly seems to me that God has not forgiven me. So this sister felt like God didn't accept her, didn't forgive her, that she went to confession, that she did all the things she was supposed to do, but that God wasn't with her. And she pressed Faustina and said to her, I know you talk to Jesus, and I want you to ask him if he has forgiven me, if he hears me. And we have to remember that this is Faustina writing the event afterwards. So maybe the sister even said, does he love me? Is he with me? Does he want me? Am I accepted? Why do I feel like this? And Faustina said, you want to know? You ask him. But the sister pressed Faustina's hand, pulled it closer to her, started crying, and said, please, Faustina. And she would not let go of Faustina until she accepted and said, yes, okay, I'm going to ask Jesus why you are suffering, why you can't pray, why you don't feel forgiven in the sacrament of confession. Finally, the older sister let go of Faustina. And Faustina felt so bad that she didn't want to go to Jesus with this question for some reason, except this is what happened. Faustina promised, I will pray for you. In the evening during benediction, I heard these words in my soul. Tell her that her disbelief wounds my heart more than the sins she committed. When I told her this, she began to cry like a child. A great joy entered her soul. I understood that God wanted to console this soul through me. Even though it cost me a great deal, it fulfilled God's wish. So just 2 things I wanted to rescue from this. Number 1, it happens. I mean, this sister is a consecrated person. She's a nun living in a convent for years, and I always think that they're so holy. Hold and behold, this sister thought God didn't want her, didn't forgive her, and she felt such a suffering in her soul, right? And it's okay if we feel like that. It's not okay to remain in that state, but sometimes we can't control how we feel. Except this sister, she had spoken to her confessor, she had tried many things, but then she ran and asked Faustina for help. So you and I can do that. You and I can pray to any saint to whom we have a devotion. We can pray to our guardian angels, or we can come directly to Jesus and say, Jesus, I don't think you hear me. I can't feel you. I can't connect with you. Can you help me? But most importantly, we can ask for intercessions, right? For the saints' intercessions, for our mothers, for Mother Mary's intercession. But in this case, I invite you to ask Faustina to intercede for you. And number 2, Jesus says, not even your sins wound me as much as your disbelief. Why do you have such a hard time knowing and remembering as a fact that I love you? That when you come to confession, I forgive you. That when you pray, I listen. So my message to you today is, number 1, ask for help. Ask your guardian angel, ask the saints to pray for you. Number 2, even when you don't feel it, even when it's not a bubbly, warm, fuzzy feeling inside of you, telling you of God's presence, He is present and He forgives you and He loves you and He's always waiting for you. So I will see you here next Saturday.